Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, Jake of the OneManBand is back again. This RWBY episode, holy crap, it was so awesome. I mean, we had a lot of stuff going on. So, just to let you guys know, I still have a bit of a cold, so if I do the thing a lot, I apologize. Let's get into it. Already, in the beginning of the episode, we basically take up almost right where we left off. Ruby is still captured. She's been taken to Roman Torchwick. He's doing his whole gloating thing. He didn't start monologuing like many villains do, but I guess he's smarter than that. And, I like it how it emphasizes even more about Ruby's, like, complete, she's completely defenseless without her weapon. So that is essentially her weakness, is if you separate her from her weapon, she can't really do much to attack you. But the ace up her sleeve is her semblance, which is speed, which she does try to use to get away. But then Roman Torchwick, he has a grappling hook in his cane. So his cane not only is a melee weapon and a burn dust rifle, but also a grappling hook. What other surprises are in this cane? I'm hoping that there's going to be even more surprises with that cane. Soon, Ruby's team arrives, they rescue her, she gets her scythe back, and then they all jump aboard a train, because that's where all the baddies are. And then they just start completely destroying the White Fang forces. I mean, there's like no contest. It's like these little grunt guys. That's basically essentially what they are. They're like the grunts from Halo. It's like, you're just out there to eat up bullets. That's all. But then we get to see what those bombs were for. And as we thought, they were actually bombs. Didn't really have the initial giant destructive payload as I was hoping for, but they are powerful enough to collapse the ceiling of the tunnel that they're in, thus letting Grimm in. And what are they doing? They're luring Grimm through the tunnels towards the city of Vale. Oobleck's all like, well, that's not possible because the tunnels were blocked off. Well, that's what the White Fang was doing that whole time. This whole time that they must have been blasting through the tunnel debris, getting trains, and then arming the bombs. That's what they've been doing in this hideout that they have. And I like it because we get to see a new variation of Grimm come down with all the other ones that we're used to. Now, it does look familiar, like maybe I've seen it in a video game or a cartoon, the whole design concept of it. But what it really reminds me of is some sort of lizard that has really big hind legs. I mean, I didn't see any front legs. Of course, that it was during a pan shot, and it's like they were running. So either way, it has very powerful hind legs, and it's reptilian in nature. So maybe some form of a dinosaur. It looks awesome nonetheless. And I know you guys probably have called me out on this already. Oobleck's weapon is not his telescope, but rather his thermos, his coffee thermos. It looks like a telescope. Maybe it's a telescope as well. Don't hate me for it. But essentially what it looks like it's very similar to Junior's weapon. Only Oobleck's weapon, it has a flame at the end, and it has pyrokinetic capabilities. And he's able to use it with Zwei to form a flaming corgi death ball of doom that knocks out a paladin mech suit in one hit. Did they plan this? Are Zwei and Oobleck working together? It wouldn't surprise me if they were. Maybe that's why Tai Yang sent Zwei with them, is because he's a magical battle dog or something. I don't friggin' know. And then our team splits up. It's Zwei, Oobleck, and RWBY. They're gonna go and try to stop the train, while Yang, Weiss, and Blake try to disarm the bombs. And it is here that Weiss hands Blake a special magazine for her pistol weapon for the pistol part of her sword swingy thing. And then we have the classic, oh, there's an enemy in our way. Well, I'll stay here and fight off the enemy while the two of you go together and stuff like that. So I like how they incorporated this part, that we get to see these boss enemies. So Yang is pitted up against Neo. Weiss is pitted up against this big, hulking, white fang guy with a chainsaw sword. And Blake is up against Roman Torchwick. Alright, now let's talk about the Yang and Neo fight. Now, it's hilarious because it's like, they do the whole, like, they're sizing up each other, and Neo is so tiny! I was like, oh my gosh, she's so tiny! I just want to hug her! But she'd probably kill me. But it's like, I knew that she was already short due to a tweet that Monty put out where he had a height lineup of all the characters, and she is the smallest out of all of them. Which, due to the whole size thing, kinda backs up my theory about her being based off Napoleon, but I don't want to get back into that. So, during this fight, we see that not only does Neo use her parasol as a weapon and she uses her semblance, but she is a very adept melee fighter, using her smaller frame and smaller stature to just dodge bigger enemies, climb up on top of them, throw them around, kick them around. She was destroying Yang, and I was just like, oh crap, this ain't supposed to happen. And even Yang, how she gets stronger the more damage she takes, she's still just getting utterly destroyed by Neo. And then with Weiss against the big white fang thug guy, he has a chainsaw sword going on. Not really the most original type weapon, but definitely one that we haven't seen in RWBY yet. Now, since she is a fencer, it's really, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Appropriate that she would be fighting against somebody who also wields a sword. Now, if she's able to stand up a better fight against him than Yang is with Neo, I think that Yang really underestimated Neo in the beginning of the fight, but as Weiss is fighting this big thug guy, he gets a few hits in, she hits him a lot, and he doesn't really seem to bat an eye. She even uses dust and her semblance on him, where she bounces off multiple glyphs to hit him, and he's able to break through that and just, like, bust her down, just boom, break her. And then when Blake goes up against Torchwick, we see that the ammo that she uses, it puts on a specific trait on her shadow clones, whatever you want to call them. I mean, there's like 1,000 different things that her semblance is called. Shadow clones just seems to be the term that I would use just if I saw it out of the blue. But call it whatever you want. That her semblance is certain traits are put on it. One of them is on fire. One turns to pure stone. One freezes. And it's with those power-ups that she's able to best Roman Torchwick rather quickly. Which is a bit funny due to the fact that her other two teammates are having such a hard time with their adversaries, and she just totally obliterates Roman Torchwick so quick. And then he plays the deceit game. He's like, well, why are you fighting for them when you should be fighting for us? Because you're Faunus and all that stuff. He's basically using his silver tongue, which is basically his only weapon at the moment, due to the fact that he has a sword pointed at his throat. So he's using his silver tongue to try to, get Blake confused. That way an opening can open up. And the only thing that really saves Roman Torchwick is that the big white fang thug guy comes in with Weiss. He's ready to take her out. And Blake chooses to save Weiss rather than take out Roman Torchwick. She does kick him and he looks like he's knocked out, but he can easily make his escape. We don't know what his fate is at this moment. But the key factor is that she chose her teammate over getting revenge, which automatically shows that she has embraced the fact of the matter that really brought her to the school. She wanted to, you know, become stronger, protect people, get revenge on Roman Torchwick and the White Fang because of all the bad they were doing. She chose to protect her teammates instead, which was the right choice. And then it switches back to the Neo and Yang fight. And what's really interesting about this fight, Neo doesn't talk. Once again, we don't get a voice from Neo, which, although a little disappointing, I liked in this scenario because, for one, we still don't know what her whole thing is, like if she's gonna have an accent, what kind of voice she's gonna have, and she talks with her facial expressions. As she's fighting Yang, she's just having a heyday with it. She gets pleasure out of just beating Yang down, which makes her look maybe a little sadistic, or I don't know. It's just she was able to convey a lot just from her facial expression. You know, she was able to coax Yang into, you know, attacking and doing all that stuff. She was embarrassing Yang because Yang couldn't really plant a hit on her, so she was able to use that to her advantage. And then she also has another dooflicky in her parasol thing. She has a sword in there, a pokey sword. I was like, oh dang, she has a pokey. And she was going to totally take out Yang because Yang was knocked out. But lo and behold, somebody comes in. And when they come out, it's just like, what's the fuck? Who is it? Oh my god! Now, we do not know who this person is, but I will be dubbing them at this moment as the Crimson Crow Knight. Just to the fact that they had red and black, they had a long flowing mane of hair that almost looked like feathers, and a knight because, you know, they had like a Grimm mask. It looked like the White Fang's mask, but natural. It looked like Adam's mask, almost. And so, a lot of you may be thinking, oh, it's probably Adam in disguise. And yes, that would definitely make sense, because the similar sword type deal, I mean, the knight sword thing, it was a lot like Weiss's weapon. How it kind of had the whole revolver type deal, and then it chose a specific color, and then they pulled out the blade, and it was red. Now, what I can only imagine is that sheath has a multiple supply of blades. It has a lot of different blades in there, and whenever they choose a specific type, the blade attaches to the handle. That's why the blade was red. Now, as soon as Neo sees this, she's just like, I'm out, and she teleports away. Now, does this mean that they know about this person? The White Fang, Cinder, and all the baddies know about this person? Or was she just totally flabbergasted, like, holy crap, this guy looks like a badass, I'm out of here? Either way, Neo gets away, Yang survives. Now, a lot of you who are thinking that this may be Adam, I will admit, yes, it might be. But if you look closely to the bodily structure and the way that they walk, it really emphasizes that this is a female. Now, it may have just been a trick on my eyes, it may have been animation, mishaps, but the thing is, person walks like a female, you know, with the whole hip swinging thing, and it looked like a female. Now, this opens up a couple of possibilities. Oh, it might be. You know, it may be the transient princess. It may be Yang's mother. It may be Summer Rose. It may be some new person that we don't even know about yet. But I think the most important thing about this new person is that they were able to open up some sort of trans-dimensional tear and walk through it and portal away. So this is an entity that can enter and exit areas just through portals, which is like a god power automatically. Will this person come back in the next episode? Who can tell? And basically what happens next, train crashes. They're inside Vale. Shiznit hits the fan. Grimm are everywhere. I believe that this is the time reinforcements are going to drop from the sky, just like in the intro. But it really makes you think, what teams are actually going to be there to join the fight? We know that Team Sun is in the city of Vale. Team Juniper is off in some village. So they may not be able to get back in time if this is just a spur of the moment and nobody recalled all the teams back to Beacon. I mean, due to the fact that things seem to work rather quickly in the span of the last episode and this episode, maybe Oobleck and the rest of Team RWBY weren't able to get a distress call out in time. I mean, RWBY tried to call Jean while she was in the tunnel, but there was no service. Go frickin' figure. So, if the teams haven't been recalled, we can probably count on Team Sun, maybe Team Cardinal, and I'm hoping for Team Coffee, because they have just arrived back at Beacon from their mission. So they've probably had a days or two rest, and they are probably fit to go out defend a kingdom. I want to see Velvet's weapon right freaking now. But anyway, guys, I think that's just gonna end this review right here. Really freaking awesome. I believe the next episode is gonna be rather long. It's gonna be a longish episode. Maybe 20 minutes, I'm hoping for it, and you're hoping for it too. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time I'm out there in YouTube land. Leave all your comments and theories down below. Like, favorite, subscribe. Share this with all your friends if you like. And be sure to check out the part 2 of my episode 10 review. It was so... stuff happened. It was terrible. It's out now. I apologize once again. I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, yo!